Team No Sleep is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry about me. That's Montell Allen over there. Look at him. Boy, that boy, he looked like it's a good weekend. He looked
That's
like it's been a good week.
that's the guy right there. That's the guy right there.
I'm gonna leave it at that. It looked like it's been a good week. Listen, man, let's get into it. We want to get straight to some of these stories because we got a lot. We don't have a lot of time because we got some other commitments straight from the horse's mouth. Is going to be recording today as well, so it's a full schedule around
Yes,
here.
sir.
First and foremost, we'd be remiss if we didn't speak about some unfortunate things in the sporting world. We just lost another legend, George Foreman.
Yeah.
The tender age is 76.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
that's actually a relatively young age, but we know his body has gone through a lot of things. But man, George Foreman.
Man, probably one of the most charismatic individuals in sports, right? No matter who you are, especially in his latter years in sports entertainment, he always brought a smile to your mouth. I mean, a smile to your face. Excuse me. Always brought a smile to your face. Just his demeanor, the way he carried himself, and then also the trials and tribulations he's been through has brought him to where he was in such a happy place. At least that's what it seemed like. Big time. And everything I've read about George Foreman, even about his movie, and everything that's been done, he was just a good guy, man.
Decent man.
You know, and unfortunately, in Thriller Manelli was painted as the villain, right? Because Muhammad Ali had such a polarizing personality. He was polarized as the villain, but he really wasn't a villain. It was just a good old guy that just found boxing as his career and was very, very successful at it.
Well, wait a minute. Think about this, though. Now, Foreman, you see the picture. When he did step in the ring, when he took that shirt off, he did look like he was just built of nothing but bricks. Foreman was a bad dude, right? So I can stand the villain versus the bad guy. He looked like the villain. But yeah, you're right. When you talked to him and everything, he was a cool dude. But
yeah, and remember, he wasn't in the media. See, I think people understand the media back then wasn't like the media like it is today.
Yeah, come on.
Foreman was a man of few words, right? He really didn't talk very much. Obviously, the sport of boxing is to be intimidating, so he was a man of very few words, but a lot of action in the ring, right? And let's just give props to that whole generation of boxing from, George Foreman, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, and Ken Norton. Those were the guys over there were really, really at the top of the game. Sonny Liston, I think, was a little bit before the time. He was out of his prime when those guys were all in their prime. But man, Foreman, I mean, how do you think about this? We got to think about this. Not only did the man was a great boxer and a champion, he revolutionized college cooking forever.
Listen, everybody, come on. You know you got one or two Foreman grills in that.
All like that, right? Presses and all those other things came from the George Foreman grill. Everybody, if you didn't have one, you wanted one, right? You wanted one. So he revolutionized that whole industry, that whole thing. Then made it come back in boxing. Probably had one of the greatest fights ever when he fought Evander Holyfield. Those both fights, those two fights, bloodfests that they had. He won the championship again at, I believe, the age of 50, right? When he beat Michael Moore for the championship for the belt. And then he came back. He was on TV constantly. Then he had that TV show with William Shatner, Henry Winkler.
He was on that show. He was on that show.
When he went on
that was one of our favorite shows. Oh,
yeah, man. I mean, such a wonderful soul, man. Such a beautiful soul. Just the way he carried himself, the way he interacted with people. Man, we lost the trooper, man. I mean, we're losing him at a rapid rate, man. But Georgia, this one stings a little bit different.
Yeah, better late than never. Better late than never. That was the name of that show.
Yeah, great show. I mean, that was a great show. I wish they would have continued it. I mean, to be honest with you, it was a great show.
That was I was looking at it. You mentioned that because it was actually, I'm looking at the same year. So the same year that Foreman defeated Moore, he launched his grill, which went on to sell more than 100 million units worldwide. In 1999, he sold the commercial rights to the George Foreman grill for $138 million.
Good for that man. Great.
That's generational on top of generational wealth right there.
On top of and he seems like a person who did really, really well with his finances, especially the latter end of his career. I don't know if you ever watched the movie, which is a great movie. I thought the movie was excellent. How he got to stardom and he lost everything. Some of them was embezzling his money, and then he lost a lot of money and he was able to go back to boxing and be able to rekindle his career and his financial status. And he was a church man. He was a preacher. Like George Foreman was a preacher. All the way, I believe, to his demise, he was still a preacher. Man, like I said, man, we lost a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good brother. That's a good brother. So
real good one, man. So rest in peace. Our shouts, team sleep shouts go out to the Foreman family.
Yeah.
As they're going through these trying times. But I know they're gonna be all right. I think George probably set them up to be okay.
Oh yeah.
Be very successful.
They got that grill money.
Yeah.
They got that grill money, regardless of that ring money.
You know, it's funny. Us old heads will remember it, but young people don't understand how impactful the George Foreman grill was.
We can pause this show. I can go get mine right now. It's in the kitchen. We put that thing to use bi-weekly. Don't get it twisted. Yeah, we put that thing to use all the time.
Hey, man, in college, man, you put a 4 burgers on there and close that bad boy up.
Because you're not supposed to be cooking in the dorm room. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, I won't get in trouble. Shouts out to Sac State. I don't want to get in trouble with
man, it was
statute of limitations is passed.
Yeah, I just tell people, kids will never understand the impact that he had with that gadget, that cooking gadget. It pretty much changed everything from that point forward. I mean, yeah, man, shout out to George, man. I mean, dude was just a great. If anybody thinks about his legacy, it was just great, right? And there should be nothing but greatness that comes out of their mouth when they talk about George. So
that's true.
I wish his family the very, very, very best, and our prayers go out to him.
That's Absolutely. True. That's all right. That's all right. Listen, all right, let's go into our next story here. California schools and back and forth about sports programs. That's how I'm going to set this up. This is about Azusa. 126-year-old California University is bringing back their football team. They shut it down because of funding. They shut it down due to COVID. There was just a few years ago, they shut it down, but Azusa Pacific in Southern Cal is coming back with their football squad.
Yes.
Reading that and knowing, again, I didn't share the story with you ahead of time, but knowing your involvement with sports from a high school and a collegiate level, what does that mean to you as you're involved with all of these students and the coaches and the leagues and things like that? Just to hear that, man, here come one back again for us. Here come another school, old powerhouse, and coming back.
Yeah, well, the good thing, Whittier announced it a couple of weeks ago before this one. Whittier brought their program back. Remember how they cut their program? Circumstances, funding, and so on. And now Azusa decided to bring their program back. It's the Division III level, not Division II scholarship. So D3 level is non-scholarship, but that's okay to be in Southern California. First of all, let's be honest and real, since we're Tino Sleep. So honest and real, they're suffering from enrollment. Both programs are suffering from enrollment, for number one. And I don't think they realize the impact of football, how it does impact enrollment in both of those schools, and also diversity enrollment. I know this latest president wants to get rid of DEI, or DIE, whatever you want to call it, diversity and inclusion. But these schools were suffering tremendously from that, especially males. So bringing these programs back will heavily impact their campuses and impact opportunity for young men to be able to play football and go to school. That's the reality of it. I'm glad the ADs kind of step back and realize they want to bring the program back. It's awesome. It's great opportunity. That's 240 young men are going to get an opportunity to play football at the collegiate level and get a great education. So those are all the pluses from, man. And I'm excited for Azusa Pacific, but I think now that puts other schools on the clock. Right.
Okay.
So we had 2 private schools that brought it back.
Mm-hmm.
There's whispers and rumors that Occidental may bring their football program back because they're suffering the same thing. But now the Humboldt States of the world, my alma mater, the Cal State East Bays, Sonoma, hopefully they'll bring their program back. I know they're under litigation and lawsuit about dropping all their athletics. Hopefully they figure out a way to bring this back. SF State should bring their football program back. So should also Chico State should bring their football program back.
Yes.
Long Beach State needs to bring their football program back. UC Santa Barbara needs to bring their football program back. And new programs like Cal State Monterey and San Marcos need to bring some programs to the forefront. And they didn't forget about Dominguez Hill, UC Riverside. Hopefully they can figure out a way to bring this back. But you got to think. I just named 10 schools right there. That's 1,000 to 1,100 men that will have the opportunity to become educated and play in their state and have that support to be able to get an education and play. Now, what does that mean 10 years down the line after they're finished playing? Those men will become managers, CEOs, supervisors, and be able to create that pipeline where now we don't have such a generation gap because we reach back and grab people from our alma mater to give those jobs and give them opportunities. Guess what? That's 1,000 people that will be owning houses and not renting. That's 1,000 less people that will not be homeless anymore or not be in a situation where they have to be homeless, or 1,000 less people that possibly won't be in the penitentiary because they don't have to take a chance because they were able to be competitive.
There's that domino effect that we talk about.
It's the domino effect that goes there that will allow these young men of color and other men that are in different opportunities, different adverse situations, to be able to have an opportunity to go. I didn't go to college because I wanted to go to college or because I was thinking about being a business or economics major. I went to college to play football. I'll just keep it honest. While I was there, I learned that I needed to get that degree. And I'm probably like 1,000 other kids across the country, or millions of kids across the country. Our first initiative is to go to play football. The education part just kind of comes, and we fall in that to become professionals or something else, which is a great opportunity because at the age of 17, 18, you just don't know, right? You don't know what you don't know. You have to learn it and understand that behavior. But great that the programs are coming back, right? They feel that there's a niche. We're still behind though. This is the foundation. And I don't know if anybody ever followed me on Twitter, NBA Sports #1. I've been preaching this forever. I constantly, almost like every month, I send a tweet out that we need to bring D2 football back to California. And now, hopefully, I don't know, maybe somebody's listening or the world's, something's starting to turn, but I'm glad it's starting to come back and starting to build it because, man, our young people need it. They need it. They're so scared to leave out of the state. And I can understand. You're going to take a kid that's from the inner city of Sacramento or the Bay Area or San Diego or LA, and you're going to tell them they got to go to the middle of Kansas. Complete culture shock. They don't know how to adjust and they don't have that support mechanism nowhere near. At least if they're in Northern California versus Southern California, you still have a day where they have some type of support mechanism, right? You feel comfortable where you're at and from when you're in your surroundings. So hopefully we can bring more schools back and give some of these young men more opportunities. Let's create a generation of successful, educated men to be able to come into the platform, to come into the workforce.
I love that.
Let's not leave women because women will be I'm not trying to stereotype women, but they'll be part of like some of the back end stuff and also cheerleading and all those other things that come along with it as well. Football brings a whole different kind of revenue stream and microcosm of a business within itself. Not only do it impacts hotel stays when people come watch the home games. It allows social media to be involved or media to be involved in a period. It allows them to do marketing. It allows them to do all these different things that come with just one organization that's bigger than any other athletic organization on campus.
There it is right there, right? That's where the money is, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Again, I think about like UCLA, and I think even about Oregon State because I'm so involved with them. Yeah, they have a great gymnastics program, and yeah, they got some winners out over there. They got nationally recognized folks, but it's football.
Yeah.
That's what fills up the stadium. That's what buys all the jerseys and sells all the hot dogs and the hamburgers. We come from California, drive to Oregon for football. Yes. I haven't driven to Oregon for baseball. It's dope.
No.
But still, that's what it's all about. Mm-hmm.
It's a different mechanism. And schools recognize it. The funny part, the Texas schools and the Florida schools recognize it. They've been recognizing it for a long time. They pop up schools want to have football programs, period. Us in California, we're a liberal state.
Mm-hmm.
We have all these different things going on, and there's a lot going on, and I understand it. I'm not saying football's at the apex of any of this stuff because we have a lot of social issues that we deal with in our state. But for opportunity standpoint for young men that play the sport, it was eliminated. It was gone.
Yeah.
We didn't have it anymore. And I'm not talking, obviously the top athletes are going to go to the big schools because that's where it is, but that's a small percentage. That's like 10% of the million kids that play football in California. It's 10% they get to go to the Division I, and after that, everybody else is left to ride dry and figure out for themselves. If we bring it back, at least we can have an opportunity to entrench those people within our state system and within our state.
Yes.
And build our workforce up, men and women. We know women have all these other programs going on for them. Football was just a mechanism for us to get us in our foot in the door, and I'm glad it's coming back.
Listen, the Azusa Pacific transitioning, like Montell said, to the D3 and the SCIAC beginning in the 26-27 school year, and they are looking for their coach.
Yes.
Listen, check Indeed, check Manpower, check LinkedIn, whatever. If you got the skills, Azusa Pacific is looking for their next coach. And you brought it up. I want to bring this up as well, man, because you do some things, and I want to put this up here for folks to see. If you're not following them over on Twitter, and I'll always call it Twitter, I will never call it X. NBA Sports One, that's where Montell is. And again, just the other day, talking about and advocating for the youth, advocating for the teams, advocating for the sport, all the sports, mainly football again, because that's primarily where your life is. But again, talking about D1, D2, D3, and all those aspects right there. And of course, you got your SDFNL in there. You over there marketing for yourself. You over there marketing.
Yeah, man. I mean, I never liked it. I mean, someone tweeted something the other day.
I'm gonna give you these flowers. No, I'm gonna make you a little uncomfortable. We're gonna give you these flowers online.
Yeah, man. I forgot who tweeted it. I'm sorry, I forgot their name, but someone tweeted something was like, we need more men like myself and my partner Ruben because of the things we do. For those that don't know, we do a thing called the Kickoff Classic, which is it's a lot of non-conference games, or actually preseason games. And what we do is we charge a canned good for admission to the events. That canned good goes to San Diego Food Bank, which feeds thousands of families across our county. I don't know if people that don't know me, I have a really big passion about teen homelessness or displacement. Especially every child should have an opportunity to eat. It breaks my heart when people don't have enough food, and we waste so much as us consumers. So this is just my way. This is the only way I know how to give back. So our events have been going on. I think we're going 11 years now, man. Giving back to the community just makes me feel good. This is the one event that makes me feel good. I don't care about no money. I don't care about anything. I just want to be able to big this event up so we can get back. We can really get back to our community and make an impact. And the good thing is I let the kids know they're participating in the game. They don't really understand how impactful they think it's just giving a canned good, and that's the end of the day. Mm-hmm. Well, they don't understand that 1 out of every 7 kids are homeless. So on your team of 50, you got about 7 guys that are homeless. You'll never know. They'll never say it. They'll never mention it. They'll never talk about it because one, they're embarrassed, and obviously the whole thing that goes along with that. But 1 out of 7 teens are homeless, man, and that's staggering to me. That doesn't make any sense. So if this event can help provide a couple of healthy meals for them, at least throughout the week, and do something, man, I'll do it all day, every day.
It is.
I think that's always giving back.
That's how this man spends his time. I spend my time working in the backyard pulling weeds, and this man is out doing the real work. Amen.
The crazy part, I need to be doing what you're doing. I'm
come on over, brother. Come on over. I got a shovel for you and everything. So okay, let's get back. Let's get locked back in. Next story, and I put the screen up, but let me put it back up here again, because again, it's about topics that we've talked about a lot. It's down in your neck of the woods. I'm talking about NIL. Now we're talking about a high school. Yes. Now we're talking about the entire school. So here's the story. Mater Dei High School. Mater Dei. How you say it?
Mater Dei.
Mater Dei. Get it right. See, Northern California trying to talk about Southern California. Mater Dei High School. The whole athletic program has signed a marketing deal, an NIL deal with a marketing company. About $1 million a year.
Yep.
Mater Dei apparently, and again, my apologies for not knowing all the details until I saw the story, but apparently the truth.
Oh yeah,
apparently they talk about this. So talk about who they are, because again, I don't know. Yeah. I'm ignorant, but what caught me was a 10-year multimedia rights deal with this marketing agency for this high school.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah. That's cool, but that's crazy.
Yeah, so those don't know, Mater Dei is a national powerhouse as far as high school football. They're the #1 team in the country. I think they've been there for like the last 3 years. They're equivalent to what De La Salle used to be. Remember what De La Salle used to be, the powerhouse?
Make it plain, Pastor. There it is. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
They're the equivalent to what De La Salle used to be. Now they're the #1 team. They play a national schedule for a high school team. So And they got an NIL deal, rightfully so. And the funny part about this, man, you were talking about this, I don't know, maybe a year ago, I was telling you that it was going to trickle down to high school and how high schools are going to
Yes,
start
you did.
this big old marketing scheme and companies are going to start to buy in. It's only a natural attrition, right? Teams like Mater Dei, I forgot the school in Arizona, in Las Vegas, that's good. IMG Academy, De La Salle as well. And there's several other schools that are all these national teams. They're going to get the NIL and they're going to set the tone. And Mater Dei is already going to set it. I mean, they're the second school to get it. Mater Dei has it, and IMG both has it. IMG has an NIL deal as well. So the stage is about to be set, man. Now high school kids are going to start getting paid. I don't think they're going to directly pay these athletes. I think they just get a lot of gear and they get all the things that come with it. But eventually, it's going to just slowly but surely where they're going to start getting paid. And that will lead to, I think, the dissolving of high school sports as we know it. I think they will become all club.
Wow.
Or private institutions. It just doesn't make any sense. You got to think, it doesn't make any sense now because if they're getting paid, obviously schools that are poor aren't going to get NIL deals, so they can't compete. So that means all the good kids are going to go to those schools. Most school kids go to clubs anyway, especially if you're some of the top guys that play basketball, football, and even softball, baseball for girls. They all play club. They don't even play really with their high school team. They just participate in it. So with that being said, I think the architecture is shifting towards club base more so than where it was normally high school.
All right, so let me ask you this because this just popped in my head. So I already see they rocking Nike gear. So obviously Phil Knight's gonna hook them up with all the cleats, all the jerseys, all the bags, all the stuff.
Yeah.
If this entire school becomes a private club school for athletes, again at the high school level,
yeah. What's wrong with it?
I'm thinking about transfer portal, right? So I'm thinking about that at the college level. So now you got someone coming from junior high. You got a seventh, eighth, ninth grader talking about. I'm less worried about the education. I'm just hear me out here. I'm less worried about understanding the 3 R's, but I can come over here and get part of this $1 million a year from Mater Dei and get this money. I'm gonna get my education, yeah, but I'm gonna go over here if I think that I'm that good.
Yeah.
And now it's trickled down not just to the high school levels to specific high schools that are getting paid grown folks money.
Yeah. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Yeah. Man, it's happened. It's starting to happen now. I think transfer portal on the high school level has already been there. There's already transfers. CIF tries to deflect it. It's all over the place. It's a big mess. It's been a big mess in California. I can't speak for other states, but definitely California's a big mess. Players want to go where they want to go. They want to play. And now this is going to throw another wrinkle in the program, right? Because private schools have already had, think about it. Private schools have already had an advantage, right? Because they have a lot of money. They have a lot of money, so they offer kids tuition assistance and all that stuff to go to their schools. I'm also, my kids went to private school, so I'm okay. I understand it. But now, the stakes are even higher, right? Not only are they getting that, but now they have donors and sponsorships that are coming in that are giving millions and millions of dollars to these kids and to these organizations to be able to be something different. And I think at some point it's going to just become a few, right? Everybody can't have millions of dollars because each school has 100. Each school has 100 schools, right? That one school, those two schools are going to get it, and those two schools are going to be in the demand to play in national schedules.
Yeah.
They're not going to be in the demand to play local schedules anymore. Like, to me, it's funny. California CIF has a rule right now. If you play IMG, you cannot participate in the playoffs.
Okay.
Because IMG is a Latin national school. If you play IMG, you can't play in our playoff system. And I think some other stuff like that. At this point, Mater Dei is like, why do I want to play in your playoff system anyway? I don't care. I really want to play national schedule and go. And there was a gentleman, Bert Grossman would know more. Our friend Bert Grossman would know more about it.
Well, ask him that.
There was a gentleman that wanted to start a power league, club league for high school. So basically, certain cities across the country would have all the best players on that one team during the high school football season, and they will play a schedule. So basically, Atlanta will play against Los Angeles. The kids will leave on a Thursday night, fly, stay the night, and play on Saturday.
Charter planes too, of course.
Yes. Or even if it's commercial, it doesn't matter. But if your kid's a top athlete, right? A good athlete, he's a good football player. Hey man, I want my kid to play on a national stage because guess what? Now he's gonna travel over to play the team in Memphis to get looked at by all the schools in the Midwest.
That's true. Yeah.
From a recruiting standpoint, it makes perfect sense. Powerhouse teams play against other powerhouse competition, and you travel all across the country and play. And from what I understand, this league was going to pay each one of the kids, I think, like $500 a week or something like that, which is $2,000 a month. For a kid that has nothing to get $2,000 a month is huge.
Yeah.
Just to play football.
Yeah.
So think about it. That model was already in place. It didn't get implemented for I don't know why, but that model was already in place. I think it's going to just up the ante now that NIL is starting to come in, because now these NIL teams say, you know what? Instead of sponsoring a high school where I have to go through all this bureaucracy, all this paperwork and all these things, we're just going to start our own club team and get high school kids to join that. And as long as I get 8 other billionaires to do the same thing in these local high school markets, we're golden, we're done, we're go.
Man,
that's all in to be. Think about it. That's national play. That means there's a market for it to be on TV, because ESPN already shows the game of the week on Thursdays. But now it's going to be, let's get a contract with ESPN to show our games of the week because there's top players going on. That means there's revenue stream from entire advertisement. That means there's revenue stream from internet, right? And that means there's a whole nother glitch market for these top high school athletes to participate and play in.
But the only reason I'm shaking my head is just, again, it's just happening so fast. I'm for it. I really am. But it's just, I didn't think it was going to happen so fast and then trickle down to the young cats. So fast. It's good. I think now is probably a better time for it to go down, from in my perspective, to the high schools than at the beginning when it went into the college realm, because now we know what we didn't know, and now we saw some of the bad, right? So now there's probably some framework around NIL and all of that, especially for the kids. Because again, you I'm not gonna say me because I talked about it, but you started it. When you got a young cat who doesn't have anything and now has money for bagging groceries or playing football, and that's cool for him, but how do I manage that money? Then I got my squad around me who probably isn't playing, and then I got to deal with that. So now there's probably some things in place to help deal with that.
Yeah.
I'm more applauding for all this than anything, but I'm just like, good night.
Well, I mean,
the pressure on these kids, man.
It's the same model as club basketball, right? It's kind of the same model. You know how they take all these top teams from the club basketball and they play all over the country. They play all over the country. Softball does the same thing. They've all done it. They've all been doing it. But the difference is parents have been paying and doing all that stuff.
Yeah, see, that's the whole difference. Now AAU was all right for a minute, but now that AAU star is getting paid.
AAU they're getting paid. They're getting, and now it's going to trickle into football. They're going to get paid to go play on the national level. They're going to get paid to go be a part of this team. They're going to get paid.
You ain't to tell me nothing, boy.
And rightfully so. And think about it. Rightfully so. I mean, if the market is there and the infrastructure is already built, now it's just time to implement, right? It's time to implement and strike the iron while it's hot. So now the bad part of that, I shouldn't say high school football will be gone. I just think it's going to be highly diluted, right? Because the top stars aren't going to play for the team, you know. And now that's going to give high schools and high school administrations to say, do we really want to opt into this or not? Do we still want to keep football and basketball and all that here? Or just, hey, you got to go play club. If you can't play club, oh, well, we're just going to be an institution of education. We're not going to deal with the sports part anymore. We can care less about it. Which eventually it will get to that point. Everybody says, no, they're never going to go. Yes, they will. If it's not funded, you got to think. So nobody just dropped their whole athletic program. It's going to the college level. They dropped everything, all athletics. We are just a school now because we don't want to deal with any of that madness. What makes you think that same ideology is not going to trickle down to high school when you say your students have an opportunity or option to go play club? Now it's up to the parent. Do you want to go play club or you don't? You don't want to play anything because we're not offering it anymore. I just think that's going to start to settle in sooner than later.
Mm-hmm. Man.
And people like I'm screaming, bring D2 football back to California.
Yeah.
I think people go to screaming, please bring high school athletics back. That's going to be the next 10. And then watch, in the next 10 years, that's going to be the next 10. Please bring high school athletics back. Because I think it's going to be gone. It's really, I'm telling you, man, in a business model, it doesn't make sense to have it. It becomes, I don't like to say it's an expense.
Yeah.
I think that's just an investment they don't want to do anymore. Because we're now just being a school, and your investment is now you go play at the club level. But now there's going to be a string of club levels, and then there's going to be different rules, and it's bad in a way because now I think when you go to club and parents are either paying or those kids are getting paid for it, I think now it takes out the infrastructure of education.
Yes.
It removes it.
Yeah.
They're no longer liable to say I got to have good grades to play. This kid runs a 4.3. He's playing regardless of what you think. I don't care if he got all D's. He's about to go play.
He about to go play, right? Again, there's that. I'm less worried about the education, not me, but I'm less worried about my education and how to add and subtract. I'm more worried about
go get in that bag. Go take that bag.
Getting that bag. Ooh.
And parents are the biggest guilty. They're the biggest.
Parents gonna
They're
be
the biggest issue. They're the issue. They're the issue with it.
Parents gonna be. That's gonna be the problem. The
yes.
Mama and daddy, right? Especially the ones who are trying to live vicariously through their kids because parent couldn't make it anyway.
But you gotta think of this though. It's another caveat. Pure economics. Hey, look, ends ain't meeting. My son can go play football for the Dallas Stars high school all-star game, and they're gonna pay him. They're gonna pay him $2,500 a month. For some, we look at it and be like, oh, we can figure out how to manage to get that $2,500 a month to pay our bills. Some people can't.
Yeah.
Like, it's not me. So yes, am I living vicariously through my son or my child? Absolutely. But also, my child is now helping me provide. Now I can pay that mortgage, my rent on time. Now I can get a few groceries get groceries in here. He's gotten shoes in his, you know what I'm saying? All those dynamics.
Wow. Instead of skipping school and not going to school and going and working in the field or working at the store or working on the farm, you got this God-given talent.
You got it, yeah. For a few dollars, you can skip education to go play.
And you helping the family. Man, so many different angles to this. Some good, some bad, and some just we bringing it to y'all.
It's the reality. It's the reality of where high school sports is going in that direction.
At the high school level. Please don't let this trickle down, honestly, to the junior high. I would not be. Again, I'm no one at this point, but please don't let this trickle down to the junior high level. That's too young to be talking about funds and money and for sports.
Well, I mean, it's funny you say don't trickle down to junior high school, but you're just going to be 1 year removed being a ninth grader at the high school level. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be still 13, 14 years old, and you're going to be in these discussions. Because if you're that good of an athlete, which we've seen there's some kids that are that good, they are able to play. So it's gonna. I don't think the infrastructure is ready for junior high because it's a little. That infrastructure is Pop Warner already. It's Pop Warner and youth football and youth sports. So that infrastructure is already there. The switch when it goes to high school is going to be, hey, who's the highest bidder? Who's going to pay me to go play here? And private schools just get away with saying, hey, we're going to help you pay for your tuition. That's not enough no more. You're going to have to not only pay for my tuition, you're going to have to break some bread.
Listen, you see this mortgage that my parents been paying for the last 20 years? We need that covered.
Shit, mortgage, I need just pay my electricity bill and my rent. My mama needs gas money. She can't afford her gas bill no more. I need all these things. So I look at the lowest common denominator, someone that is really, really poor, but they got a very, very talented son.
Yeah.
And that son is going to be able to have an opportunity to play this. Now, is it right or wrong? Does he go play in this club sport and get paid and maybe not distance himself, but takes the lesser value of education in order to provide for his family at a young age? Or is there going to be so much resistance that they keep somehow the education factor in there to make sure this young man has a 2.5 or above to be able to play sports and do his thing? I just think money's going to outweigh everything. It's going to go, hey, you're almost a professional at the high school level now. You're going to get paid. Won't get paid when you get to the college level. It's going to be a tier effect. You get paid this much at the high school level. Then you're going to get this paid this much when you go to college. And then obviously, if you ultimately make it to the pros, you get to this much. And let's not forget, colleges will look past somebody's grades and all that stuff.
They'll find a tutor. They'll find someone to help you with that, or they'll do that homework for you. Okay, don't get in trouble,
Hey man,
James. Don't get...
so
okay, so let's stay on this NIL tip. Let's stay on this because this is a crazy story. I'm sure you've seen glimpses of this recently too. You don't just have to be on the team.
No,
you don't just have to be a forward or a guard or a wide out, bro. You can be the team manager walking around with the old beatbox, with the old boombox. And you can
genius,
get,
bro.
You can get not just one NIL deal. Here go the man's. My man's name is Amir Khan. He was the team manager for McNeese State. They lost, so they already gone. But don't trip, because my man Amir has already transferred to another school that's still in the tournament, and he has multiple NIL deals. Let's just go down the list. So far, Buffalo Wild Wings, Tick Pick, Tops, Insomnia Cookies, PSD, Formula Bot, TurboTax, Fortnite, Rock'em Socks, GL. This man, all he does.
Balling.
Bruh.
Dude, he's a genius. He is a freaking genius. The way he set this up for himself is pure genius. I'm gonna
find some video. If y'all don't know, I'm gonna find some video.
I read a little bit about his story, but he's just ingenious to be able to come up with the concept of old school, wearing the sweatsuits with the name of the company on there, having the boombox with the name of the company on there, being the forefront when the team walks out to a sold-out crowd because McNeese State was very, very good. He was just advertising locally, and when they come on the thing, he's just walking out of the tunnel with them. He's flipped that to a multi-million. I mean, I know he's making 106 figures, $100,000 a year.
Oh yeah. Right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Right here go my dude right here. So all over all the major news publications. This is USA Today. This is my man right here walking out. That's all he does. All the cameras are on him.
And run around and hand the ball to the players. That's it. That's all he does.
He got all the D-cell batteries in his boombox, and he's walking around. That's all he does. And he's got all these.
Man. I mean, think about it. If he came up with this concept, which I think he did,
he is a new Flavor Flav.
I think he's better. I think he's different than that, man. What a business genius for number one to be able to come up with this and make this, make this image of himself.
What killing?
Advertise clothing, food, and everything he can. And now the fact that he's getting all this attention, he's even capitalizing even more. And guess what? That trickles onto the players that he's with. Yeah. He just signed. He just transferred over to North Carolina State.
That's where it was, North Carolina State. That's right.
The bigger program, which is in the SEC, I believe the ACC now. So now he's even going to be on a larger market. No one even knows who McNeese State is, really. They don't. No one's really heard of him.
Never heard of him.
We know about it because John Morant went there, but I'm saying people that don't follow basketball don't know. Yeah. They don't really know who McNeese State is.
Yeah.
People know who NC State is. They're in the ACC, big basketball thing. And don't be surprised if he crossovers into football and be the manager, team manager.
Oh, he gonna be hot. You know where he gonna go? I know where he going.
Where's that?
He going out there to hang with them Buffaloes. Dion gonna call him. Dion gonna call him. I think that's the whole kind of just riz, as the kids call it. That's the whole aura. That's the whole little swagger. I think there's gonna be a couple of games. I think there's gonna be a couple of games where he walk out with them Colorado Buffaloes.
It might be. You might be right. I mean, he might be a guest appearance player for Colorado Buffaloes to come out.
That's when you know he made it.
Yeah, he's gonna get paid. I think that I think now, but I mean that opens up another lane now for college kids, and this is a great thing for kids that have kids. Your kid doesn't have to be an athlete in order to get put on. He's showing a pathway that you don't have to be an athlete. If you're working in the back, working in the front office or working in the back end of all these players, there's a way for you to mass market yourself, mass market the team, mass market an opportunity for yourself to be able to get paid. I mean, this young man just graduated from college. He's making 6 figures on top of his salary. On top of what he's
already making. Got all those brand deals now. It's just starting for him. It's just
starting for him. So He's carved it. But think about it. He's laid the mat down. He's definitely laid the foundation down on how to
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna see other people execute it. Because next thing I'm waiting to see a female do it, right? A
Yeah.
female
Yeah.
do it.
That would be
I would
yeah.
love to see. I would love the female director of operations for South Carolina women's basketball team come out with a boombox and some things and have her gear on and say, "Hey, I'm walking my team out and doing the same
Yes.
thing."
And
Advertising.
because Coach
Yes,
Staley would love that. Because
man.
Coach Staley would be out there dancing with man. That
And
would
think
get
about
it
this though.
going.
Think about this. Bands now are going to be sponsored by NILs because what? Think about it.
Especially
HBCUs.
HBCUs.
What's better? What's better than the game?
I was about to
Halftime.
say especially
What's wrong with
HBCUs.
halftime? What's wrong with halftime having a Wingstop all over their uniforms and in their color and forming and doing their band thing or battle of the bands, where all those kids get paid for doing it because they're entertainers at that point. So this dude then carved out something that's very unique and very special. And I'm telling you, don't be surprised if you start seeing high school kids do this. Because if
Oh
I was a
yeah.
kid in high
Oh yeah.
school and I wasn't an athlete, I'd be like, "Can I be your football
I just
operations
won't be the
guy?"
manager. I didn't make the squad. I got cut. Don't
Nope.
trip. Okay. Can I just work with
Yep.
the team, work around the team, and then just show
Coach,
up.
can I walk out with my boom box and I can walk the team out for this celebration? And when they swag left and right, can I be the one there with the music holding it up with a brand advertisement on my back? Whatever that may be, and I'm running out. So this dude had carved out a whole nother niche, man, for people to be able to make money and be involved in the things they love, which is sports. And I think it's just gonna grow. It's gonna
Yeah.
grow. So
We're gonna end on that high note because nothing's higher
yeah.
than that right now. That
Yes.
kid is I'm watching my teams and watching. I saw Juju and Mr. Daniels hanging out. Okay, we may
Oh
have
yeah, that
something
was
going.
you see that?
We saw that.
I don't
And
want to be, but I don't want to be the TMZ.
yeah, we're not gonna be the rumor mill, but
Yeah, I ain't the rumor, but I mean, I
that'd be
think
neat.
that's cool.
Yeah, it'd
I
be
think
nice.
that's cool that two elite athletes can be able to sit down and chat
Yeah.
and chop it on up.
Well, Jaden had his mom with him, so it was Jaden. It was Jaden, his mom, and Juju. So
Okay.
okay, that was that nice
Yeah,
nice little couple there. And then I saw my UConn just embarrass that one squad. I don't know another squad, but they beat him by 69 points. So you're right. So here in this NCAA tournament, if someone on the women's side, because that's really, yeah, we watching Duke. Yeah, we
that's the hot
watching the
ticket,
UConn.
man. Hey, if I was a director of operations right now,
I'll be trying to find somebody else named Amir Khan. I'll be trying to find his brother.
I would be the female Amir Khan, so I would be advertising things that pertain to women, lipstick, hair
All that.
products, whatever it may be. I'm like, let me jump on and get this bag real quick before everybody gets on the bag. And now this allows not only players to get NIL deals. Guess what? They'll start looking for people on directors of operations. Like, we need to get you a deal too. We need to get you something to do because you're in the forefront of doing all these things. And I don't think people understand operations is a big, huge component of sports.
Yes.
They control, I should say they control, but they have to keep everything organized and ready to go. Not only from the intro, but you got to think the day-to-days in practice, they got to get everything organized. All the paperwork, they got to make sure flights and stuff are concurrent. Hotel things, all the stuff on the back end, the operations people are doing to make sure everything runs smoothly for the head coach and the team. I'm glad this dude got his props, man, because that in itself is a hard job. Especially if he was doing that during it with studies combined with that. That is a hard job. And, we already know it all rolls downhill. So guess what? Anything goes wrong, it falls on him. He's the one that's going to get yelled at. He's the one or she's the one that's going to get yelled at. The fact that he's been able to create this culture for him to be able to capitalize off of it, man, Armand Khan is the man. We need, a matter of fact, get some Armand Khan shirts.
We're going to find a way to hook him up with some merch right there.
Yeah.
Because he is definitely Team No Sleep. The way that he's manipulating and maneuvering across the NCAA. Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to his people. Because now he got people.
Man. It need to be like hustle like Amir Khan, get your hustle on like Khan. So we need to come up with a catchphrase for that.
Hold on,
that brother's doing.
Let me write that down right there. Because again, like I said, I know he got people now, so we're gonna have to reach out to his people. Yeah. Listen, all right, brother. Let's go ahead and bring this plane in, but because we've got some other things to get into. We're going to be shooting for Straight from the Horse's Mouth and want to tell everyone that's going to be exclusively on the Team No Sleep channel. So yeah, Montell's gonna be doing his thing. I'm gonna be just behind the scenes, but I'm looking forward to that session right there. Go ahead and bring us home, brother.
Yeah, absolutely, man. First of all, early this week there was a couple of mass shootings in New Mexico and I believe in Texas. Shout out to those families, man. Their prayers. I know there was also some shootings in Memphis, man. We really got to stop the gun violence. Too many of our young people are getting killed over some nonsense, man. One of the situations I feel that can be squashed by a simple conversation, right? Having a simple grown-up conversation and not let hot heads prevail. So my prayers go out to all those families that are affected, victims, and everybody all across the board. As we always say, man, keep God first, man. This is all God's plan. Say your prayers, check on your loved ones, and again, be comfortable having uncomfortable conversations because that's how we learn. We out.
Montell and James, bringing the heat, team no sleep, with champions meet. We're on the mic, taking over the game, no time for rest, no scrambling for fame. Talking sports, breaking it down from the court to the field. All around town, we stay up all night, grinding on the mic, bringing news, real stories on the fly. Montell's got the stats, James got the flow. Together we're two and ready to blow. From NBA to